Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday morning stamping instead of Monday night stamping. Thank you for joining me today at a different time. Some things have come up and I won't be able to do it tonight, so I thank you. And remember, if you are, pardon me, I'm getting my words twisted, which is not unusual. Thank you for joining me now, but also if you're watching the replay, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, thank you for that too. So what's happening is that I go into the hospital for surgery tomorrow. So tonight is about prep and that kind of thing, and maybe packing and that. So that's why we're doing it today. So that being said, my name is Lillian. I'm from Stampers Niche, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Alberta, Canada. And today's date is November the 18th. It's a Monday, November the 18th, 2024. Hard to believe 2024 is coming to near the end, but anyway, that's what it is. And let's go down to my desktop. And on the way down, make sure you say hi. And whether you're watching the replay or not, it's always nice to know that people have been here, and just the saying hi is just helps the sense of community. The other thing is, I have a question. Are you someone who, when you have something to do, sometimes put it off? Do you put it off, or do you do it right away? I tend to be I tend to put it off. But the last few weeks, because I knew I was going to be laid up for a while, I have been a little bit reformed in doing things right away. And my husband is laughing like crazy. So it's very unusual for me, but we are going with the flow and doing whatever. So are you someone who maybe says, oh, I'll do that later, or do you do stuff right away when it comes up? Let's make sure I can get this all set up. Wants to slide on me. There we go. And now I'm going to also make sure I can see you. I'm so glad that some of you are saying hi already. Excellent. And I don't know. Anyway, I will just, Marilyn, I know you're here, and I love that. You are so wonderful. So I have a few things I want to show you today, and then we're going to show you how to make simply stunning trees with scraps of paper. So this, I just wanted to highlight again, is the new color coach that you can find in the online exclusives. The order number is, 166481. And what does the color wheel do? Well, first of all, it comes in two pieces with the brad, so it's really easy to put together. And it helps you choose colors if that's an issue for you. And there is theory, there's science behind choosing colors, whereas I tend to sort of ad-lib it. But it talks about colors that work well together, whether they're sort of tone on tone, or whether they're, I think this is called triadic, so it across from each other. These are colors I often would not put together, and yet actually today we are using Pretty Peacock and Blackberry Bliss, and we're using a brown. So we're using the triadic colors today. And then on the back, it's got some more teaching information and just things that will help you out. And of course, neutrals that work with pretty much anything. Karen, you love the color wheel? I do too. In fact, it is within arm's reach on my desk at all times now that I have it. I just love it as well. And speaking of online items, there were lots of things that came up on online items, but I wanted to show you something in the kits. One of my favorite kits from last year was called the Rustic Christmas Countdown Kit. And remember, if you click on a picture, it gives you more details. So we've got it here, and we can look at what's included and how it looks together, that kind of thing. Here is just one of the envelopes from the kit. Now you get a big long piece of twine to hang all of the envelopes on, and everything gets clipped onto the little clothes peg, and then you've got an envelope. So I put mine on display for the last class I had, and the ladies just loved it. I'll share the picture later this week. But I've seen people use the pieces of this kit for the kit, which is wonderful. They've used it for cards, for scrapbooking, and all kinds of things. So do take another look at that and make sure that you know what's going on there. So I just wanted to point that out. And just before we start, you loved that kit from last year, Linda, so did I. It's likely one of my favorite kits of all time. I have to just say that. I did a video on it even last year, so I'll have to see if I can find it. The other thing is, if you're doing Christmas shopping and you want to gift some Stampin' Up! Product, or if you want to receive, you can tell I have gift certificates, and so they like this, and then you can write a little message on the inside. So just reach out and let me know, and we'll put that to the side and bring in what we're going to make today. Now, I saw this idea of what we're making today on a video the other day. You've done a lot with the Rustic Christmas Kit too. Yes, Karen, I bet you have. I'd love to see what you've done. Sorry, I got sidetracked there. So I saw a video by, what was it called? Senior Susie Stamps. And she had recorded it a few years ago, and I thought, ooh, I love that. And I am going to give it a try. And then when I had it on display during my classes a week or so ago, the ladies asked for it too. So this is for you, everybody. So we're going to make 2 cards. So we're going to take a thick piece of a thick basic white. We're going to cut it in half at 5.5. So each card is going to be 5.5 by 8.5, and we've scored it in the middle. So we've got that. And I'm going to be using the Regal Winter paper, but you can do this with any paper, any designer paper you have. So we've got our 2 card bases, and we're going to put them to the side. And then we're going to bring in the next layer, which is 4 by 5.25, and we're going to work on 1 card at a time, but you need 1 for each card. So this goes pretty simply. Then we're going to bring in some pieces of the Regal Winter paper. Remember, this is the paper that has the floral on one side and the plain color on the other side. And these 3 are cut 2 inches by 4 inches. And we're going to bring our paper trimmer in. We're going to do 2 things. We're going to score the paper with the 2-inch side at the top, and we're going to line it up at 1. So we're scoring it at half. So it's just 1 inch on each side, like that. Actually, I want to do it this way so that the side that I want to show is going to be face down. Not that's a big deal. You can always reverse fold quite easily. There, we've got it like that. Now I'm going to keep this close because we're going to need it in a minute, but we're going to fold on those scored lines, and the side of the paper we want to show, we want on the inside. So we're just lining up the edges, and if it's not totally exact, guess what? It doesn't matter. This is a wonderful card for people like me who like to have a little leeway, and it doesn't have to be all totally lined up. So now we've got it like that. Now we're going to bring our trimmer back in, and we're going to do the same with each piece. So we're going to start with the fold on this side. So this is the side that opens up. The fold is on this side. We're going to put the tip of the fold in the cutting trough. Then we're going to slide this, and the open end we're going to put in the cutting trough. So we're cutting diagonally from the top to the bottom, but your fold is on this side. I suppose it really doesn't matter. And the open end is on this side. And I am going to get a piece of Post-it or a Post-it note just to hold that in place so it doesn't slip. So now what we have is a triangle, and then we have these two pieces. We're going to use all of this. So keep it handy and do the same with all the others. So there's another one, and it doesn't matter if you keep them in order. You're going to play around with the order anyway. So if I put the sticky end on, there we go. Great. So we're going to use these large triangles for the first card and then these bits for the second card. So we'll keep these handy. Bring in this. Now you could emboss this, and I'm going to emboss the second card, but I'm going to leave this one blank. So what we're going to do is just figure out our placement of the trees on the card. Something like that I think would look good. Now what we're going to do is run glue down here and glue it down, but so the edges still are raised, and then we're going to put tree trunks on. Now I tend to eyeball it, but if you don't, if you would like to be more precise, you could use your pencil or your trimmer, and you could make marks at the 1 inch, and I'm just going to do it in the middle in the part that is covered, and at the 2 inch, and the 3 inch, and that would help you line up your trees. I don't tend to do this step, but if it's helpful for you, there's a little tip that Susie shared in her video. So again, I think I'm going to go like this with the Blackberry Bliss in the middle. Now I'm going to bring in my adhesive and throw it around. No, and I'm going to put adhesive on the fold only. Sorry, my fancy schmancy bracelet there. Getting all, I had to do blood work yesterday, and that's the pre-surgery stuff. Okay, so see how I put adhesive just on the fold. By holding it folded, it worked just great. So I'm going to put this one right about here. And you do want your trees straight. If they're crooked, you feel a little seasickish, if that's a word. So I just want to press down in the middle. So I'm using my bone folder and going like that. And I'm just going to let it set up like that. Now I'm going to do the same on the other side, just putting a bit of glue down that fold. And I'm going to put this pretty much the same as this one as far as where it's placed height-wise. So just like that. So this card has lots of dimension, and it's just using paper. So there we go. We've got it like that. Now I'm going to put some tree trunks on. I use the Country Woods designer paper so that I had tree trunks like this. So when you cut your tree trunks, you're going to want to cut 4. So 3 are for this card, 1 is for the next card, and these are cut about 1/2 inch by 1 inch. Again, it's your choice. Now, if you don't have any designer paper that has a wood grain on it, you can cut just some brown paper. And then what I did on this one here is I used this the new, what's it called? The Birchwood 3D embossing folder. And then, of course, you can sponge the edges and make it look like wood too. So that's an option as well. Or you can be stylized and make them whatever color you want. So we want these two, and I want it to be a little shorter. So I'm going to cut these two off a bit. If I hadn't run the glue all the way down, I could tuck it under, but I did. So let's see. Just line that right up there. And right up there, I think I could cut a little bit more off. Okay. Yeah, I like that. So now I'll just add some glue to that. I love how this uses up designer paper that you might just have scraps of, and yet it really is effective. So I'm just, where the fold is, that's the center. I'm just eyeballing the trunks to that as well. Now we've got this one here. And again, we're just going to run the adhesive down that fold on the back. And we're going to line it up in the middle, and I'm going to drop it down just a little bit, just so it's staggered. And then use this to push it down, make sure it's centered. I think so. And now we'll add one more tree trunk. I'm just going to put the glue here, and then I can cut off any excess. Just flipping it over, and it's not all sticky. So we have the basic card here like that. Now what we're going to do is put our greeting across here, but before we do anything else, we're going to put this onto the card front, because we have less to worry about. Now you can do two things. You can put it flat, because you've already got this dimension, or you can put it on dimensionals. I'm going to show you one that's flat in a little bit. So let's put this one on dimensionals, and then you get to see how they both look. I always remember, use those edges of your dimensionals too. They are treasures. In fact, I have one customer said, that's my favorite part of the dimensionals to use. So there we go. We're going to put this on here. Now you could have always added another little thin layer of contrast, but we've got it like that. Now let's stamp the greeting. I think for this one we're going to use Pretty Peacock. And I've used the Merry Christmas. Likely it's my favorite stamp of Merry Christmas. Is from Hope and Peace. This one we had last year. It's in the annual catalog, I believe, and it's the Merry Christmas right from here. I just love the mix of fonts. The size seems to work so well. And where did I get this label? That label is from the Unbounded Love set. You could use whatever. So it's the set that has all these different labels, and I'm using this one right here. So you could use whatever works for the words you're using. But I liked the size of this label on this card, and I liked the Merry Christmas just fit perfectly. So it was all good to go. There, so we've got that done. I'll close this up. Now, the lady I was watching, she had a fancy schmancy mechanism in here, which I found it a bit difficult. So what I'm going to do is figure out my placement, and then I'm going to put dimensionals just on either side of the fold, keeping it nice and narrow in there so we can still have a little bit of that movement with the tree. And we'll put this on top like that. And now we just have to embellish it. So I have been using the Druzy adhesive backed embellishments a lot. In fact, the Christmas card class I just taught, the in-person one, everybody got a package of these. and we use them on all of the projects. And I thought these would be perfect as the stars on top of the tree. Now, if you don't have that, you likely have a star punch or die somewhere, and you could put it there. If you're looking for one, Christmas Friends, which you know I've been using a lot lately, it has the stars here too. It cuts 3 at a time, so you'd be perfect. You take some specialty paper like gold, or if you took some glimmer paper, peach pie works perfectly for stars. It's just got that warmth to it. And then we've got it like that. And then I just couldn't resist. I had to bring in, oh, I forgot to do something there. Oh, well, we'll do something different. These loose white snowflakes, I have used a ton of these, and I still have tons left, and I just love them. So you can leave this blank. It looks really nice, but I thought, what about adding some snowflakes to the tree? Now, if I was making this as a birthday card or something, obviously I might not do that. I'm going to put a few in the lid so they spread out a little bit. And I am just going to, oh, I don't know. Let's see. I'll put a dot of glue here, 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 here. You guys, you don't need to hear me saying all of that, right? Whoops, I don't think I planned to put it right there, but oh well. Might have gotten a little carried away with my glue. And all I'm going to do is use my take your pick tool and pop snowflakes down. And the snowflakes have a couple of different sizes, so you can have all kinds of fun with that. Oops, that one's kind of gimpy. We'll use a good one. That one would be good in a shaker card. No one would care. But on this card, it kind of shows up. How many of you have these snowflakes? And have you used them much? I've got customers buying them right up. Maybe it's because I've used them on a lot of projects. So how many? Ooh, I got those really close together. It's not the look I really wanted. Oh, well. Need a few more. Do we have any snowflake people that are in love with these snowflakes like I am? So our multi-purpose liquid glue does hold these snowflakes on. I mean, you don't want to be too rough with them right off the bat. But once the glue dries, it's such a nice strong glue. It works perfectly. Okay, I need one more, I think, right here. Got a little carried away with my dots earlier. And just like that, we have, I'm going to use those later, so I'll leave them open. We have the first card done, but there's an online exclusive gold twisted thread that I am just loving. And I am going to, I meant to tuck it under, I didn't, so I'm going to add a bow. So we'll just tie a little bow. I've used this thread in all kinds of ways, and one of the cards I show you at the end, I actually, snowflakes stuck to me. I actually twisted the twine apart, and so it's really nice and fine. So you can see it's starting to do that already. It's really easy to do with this, and so you've got the option of having it the thickness that it is, which is really nice, or you can make it even finer. So let's bring in a glue dot here. We'll just roll it up and add that. And just like that, we have card number 1 done. Who thinks they like that? I think I got carried away in my snowflakes. Another time I might not do quite so many snowflakes, but you get the idea. So I was just noticing this. Do remember to join my Facebook group. Right now we're on my Facebook page. They're two separate things. My Facebook group is a private group, and that's where we share even more ideas. So make sure that you take a moment to do that. So now we're going to start card number 2. So we've got the card base. We've got this, and ahead of time, I ran it through the Snowflake Sky 3D embossing folder. So now I have snowflakes in the sky. So we'll put that to the side. And now we're going to bring in these pieces here. And to play with these pieces, I am actually going to use my silicone mat. Oops, I'm having a little snowstorm here as I knock things around. Here's my mat. So we've got this. So what we're going to do is we're going to start to play a little bit. And you see how this edge here is a right angle, or the corner is a square. You're going to put the two square edges together. So these, I'm going to just lay them. I could maybe switch things around later. There we go. Got this. And this is the square edge. That one's going to go like that. And this is going to go like that. And this is going to go like that. Oh, that's not bad, actually. So I've got the two different ones of peacock. And all right. Usually I am busy playing around, but I think that works just fine. So what we're going to do is run a little bead of adhesive down the edge here. So this is the edge that has the square corner. So just a little bead like that, and bring this back in. And the thing is, we want the point, the top point, to overlap and then come down. And what you end up with is, oops, make sure that that overlaps. There we go. Is you have another triangle, but this time it's two-toned. Okay, so we'll do that. Put that to the side. Do this one. This adhesive, you can put it on and let it set for a long time, and it will still be super, super sticky. So we'll put this one on here. Whoops. It's easier to do when I have it in my hot little hands. There we go. And then this one here. I'm going to pick it up. For me, it's easier to do it in the air. So now we've put two triangles together to form a larger triangle or to form a tree. Just like that. Move that to the side. And now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in a scrap piece of white that is 4 inches wide and across. And I've got mine at 1.5, but it really doesn't matter. We're going to tear this and turn it into a snowbank. So with what you're going to do is tear towards you, and then you get that nice ruffly look, and you can make it as rolly a snowbank as you want. And of course, every time it turns out a little bit differently. Then I'm going to use my scissors and just kind of rough up the edges a little bit more. And then my fingers. And then before I stick it down, this is the first time I've remembered. I've made several of these cards and I've always added at the end because I've forgotten. I'm going to use Wink of Stella just to add a little sparkle to the snowbank. And you likely can't see that on camera, but it in person it does add quite a bit. There we go. We've got it like that. Now what this is going to do, it's going to go on the bottom of this embossed piece, but we do not want glue here. We want glue behind here at the bottom and glue on the two edges, but we want this part open so we can tuck things in. So let's flip that over. Add a little adhesive there. And line it up. There we go. Just like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use, I'm going to use dimensionals this time and put it on the card front. Where did I? Here's my dimensionals. And again, it's fine to put this down flat. You can do it whatever way you want. But I love my dimensionals, and I love the look that it brings. So, how are you doing on preparation for Christmas? There's a question for you. I actually have a lot of cards made, but not addressed, and now there's a postal strike, so maybe they'll be ready for next year. Now, just like on the other one, we're going to arrange our trees. I'm going to maybe just fix that. Wonder we could go this way. Do you think, I like these two on the outside, but should the Blackberry Bliss go towards the middle or should it go towards the outside? Middle or outside? And I'm just going to touch up this little mess so it looks a little bit more like a point. Middle or outside for the Blackberry Bliss? Which way should it go? Middle. Okay, Gail, thank you. We are going to do it in the middle. So what we're going to do is we're going to tuck these in like that. And I know the top's wonky, but you know what? We're going to put stars on it so no one's going to know. Sort of like that. And then this one will go here. Ooh, I like that effect a lot. Okay, well, let's just look at it, Linda, for the outside. We are going to go with the middle because that's the first one I saw, but just so that you can see how it goes. There's that too. Both are good. I like both. But we said we were going to go with the middle, so we'll go with that first. So we're going to glue this down straight. So we're just put some adhesive on here. And tuck it into the snowbank. And just like the other card, I want the two outside ones to be, well, actually I want them to be raised. I'm forgetting what I want. There we go. And then I'll have the front one down a little bit. So there we have it like that. And this one now is going to go on dimensionals and be in the middle there. So let's bring in our dimensionals again. Like that. See how quickly these come together? Once you've made one, you'd be able to make a ton. Here's a question. What designer paper would you use for your trees? And literally, you can use any. If you have directional paper, it's a little bit, you have to be a little bit more careful. But, okay, I forgot to put that on. We will shorten that up. And tuck this in. line that tree trunk up with the bottom. Whoops. There, we've got the trees on. Now we just need a sentiment. So we have, oh, right here, I stamped Merry Christmas and Blackberry Bliss for this one. Now we're going to, where is my, there it is. Put some here, and we're going to put some of that twine behind. So I know that I want to go, this is the top, I want to go this way. So I'll stick a little end in the top, do a loopy. I'm just sticking the pieces into that adhesive I put on the back, and we'll do another loopy there, and another loop, and another loop. You poor people, you get to hear how my brain works. And I'm going to do a third one down here and cut that off. Now remember, because we used a dry adhesive here, if you don't like how it looks when you look on this side, you can peel it off and redo it. I'm pretty happy with it. Now remember, we're going to put this, just like on the other one, across here. But this one is raised here, so I'm going to just put dimensionals on the two ends and then stick it down. We could also put some other adhesive here just to hold it to the tree, but I think it's going to be good with just the dimensionals. But I'm keeping them right on the end because they're straddling the tree. Well, I'm just going to do another one. Kind of got that in the wrong spot. There we go. And it's going to straddle the tree like this. And just figure out your placement. I'm going to put, again, those druzy embellishments on top. Just because they're nice and handy. You could use whatever you wanted, right? So we'll put this one here, and suddenly those wonky tops look fine because they got an embellishment, right? When in doubt, embellish. That's what I always say. Now this is what you, this is another option for your loose snowflakes. This time we can put them in the background. So let's just say, okay, I'm going to put one there. I'm going to put a couple here and one up here, maybe one over here, here. We'll stop it at that. So I'm going to put a few more back in. I like to get some in the lid so I can spread them out. Here we go. And these are more subtle now because it's white on white, and yet they really create a nice effect. So instead of putting it on the tree this time, or trees, I put it in the background. So there you go. That's 2 cards. I keep gluing them to my finger. There's just about fingernail embellishments here. So I've got 2 cards from that one. I overdid the snowflakes on this one, but you get the idea. Just before I put this away, what I always do with my twine is I take the X-Acto knife attachment from the Take Your Pick tool and make 2 little slits, and then I run the end of my twine through those slits and it keeps it from unraveling. Just a little tip there. So those are the ones we made today. These are the ones I made when I was experimenting a little bit. I was a little less generous with the snowflakes, so you get the idea there. But these ones don't have the gold twine because it just arrived. So we've got the gold twine on there. So here's a question. Do you like it with the twine or without the twine? Twine or without the twine? And now I'm going to bring in one that has a black base, and we used the, oh, what's this called? I've got it somewhere here. Called the Season of Elegance designer paper, but this shows you about the that you can use totally different colored paper. So here is with the Season of Elegance, and then I gave gold trunks and added just a little bow in the corner, and I didn't add any snowflakes. So this is with the plain background again. And then this one here I did like this one, so with the snowbank, but I made my snowbank black. Still used the gold, and then just scattered some snowflakes in the background. I wasn't sure if I wanted the snowflakes or not, but I thought it carried through with this. And then I embossed with gold. So you could do it that way really, really easily. And on the inside, I just did a little bit more embossing here and then embossed gold here. Oh, I forgot to show you the inside of these. What I did on the inside of these is I stamped and then got snowflakes from another set, I forget which set, and did the contrast there. So there you have that. It's so easy to make these, and you could make multiples and really do a lot. And I think like if you used fall colors or colors from other colors, you could make them for all occasion. I have a few other cards I just want to share with you. Oh, you love the Season of Elegance. They really do, Kathy. So can you imagine if you use glimmer paper or that new I call it Valentine's paper. I forget what it is. That would look really neat too. Some of the oxidized paper. Oh, you could do all kinds of things. So here's another card that I made. Again, very simple. This one, I actually used the snowflake embossing folder first. Then I ran it through again with the trees. So it kind of flattened the snowflakes, but they're still there in the background. So have you ever tried running a piece of cardstock through with one embossing folder and then another? I just thought that was really neat. Now, I don't have the trees from the mini catalog, but I have the Forever Forest. So I cut them out of designer paper and put them on here, and it's just a very simple, oh, and I put some white twine in the background here. So very simple. I didn't even put a greeting on the front. I thought, I'm not sure what I want or where I'd put it. So I guess I could have put something up here if I'd done it before embossing, but I didn't. So there you go. So here's another one that I've just been playing with. So it is a fun fold with designer paper. So let me know if you're wanting to know how to make any of these cards I'm showing you. So what is this called? It is called the Double Diamond Fun Fold. So there we go, like that. So we've got that. And then another fun one that I'm going to show you how to make once I'm able to be in my stamp room again is this fun fold here. So it goes flat, but when you open it up, it can go that way too. Like that. You always get to see my instructions tucked in. So we've got that one. And another one that I've got slated to teach you at some point is this one here. So when you open it up, you've got that flap that pops up. So the greeting actually goes in the middle of this card. It's a great way to use some of our stunning designer paper. So we can go like that. And then I received this card in a swap, and we were talking about different ways to use embossing folders. Here, the person who did it did the hybrid embossing folder for changing leaves, but then she used just the embossing folder on designer paper, and that had created that look. I think it would look great for animal prints and stuff too. And this was from Cafe Level. So just another idea to put in your idea bank. So speaking of idea banks, what's an idea that you took from today? Several of you said I had lots of ideas. I was kind of rambling and just throwing it all out there. So what ideas have you taken, or what's an idea, one idea that you have taken from today? And then number two, are you going to be giving these tree cards a try? Let me know in the comments. So I know that I'm not going to be able to sit or stand for very long, for several weeks here. And so I do have some videos prepared and some posts prepared, so I will still try to jump on and inspire you, and we will be playing it by ear a little bit in the next few days, or next few weeks, I guess I should say. Oh, I'm seeing people saying they're going to try some of these ideas. Excellent. Super, super, super. Once again, if you have questions, please reach out, and thank you for supporting me with thumbs up, or if you're on YouTube, subscribing or something like that. And of course, if you want to order anything, order sooner rather than later, if you want it for Christmas particularly. Okay, thank you for joining me, and all the best. Bye-bye.